right, you maggots, listen up. All right, I'm going to attempt to remove 2 wires from a capacitor right here, just to give you a little bit of encouragement and to let you realize that I have problems getting this apart. See, people call it a Hallicrafters. It's HELLCRAPPERS. All right. They use this capacitor. You can see this brown capacitor. Here's a cutout. That cutout is inside. That metal cutout is inside, and it's bent to hold that capacitor in place. They use the capacitor as a terminal, and that's where all the fun begins. Now, this ball of solder here, you have to add a little bit of solder to it. Let's make sure I touch it right here. This ball of solder, you have to add a little bit of new solder to it to be safe. All right, now that's what I'm going to do. And you probably could do this faster if you're younger and you're more dexterous and you got better tools and you know what you're doing, or you think you know what you're doing. But I'm going to show you. This tip isn't even a real Weller tip, but it seems to work. And I'm hanging over the camera. Okay, got new solder on there. All right. So you want new solder so it'll flow better. Now, found one of my many pair of glasses. The thing still seems to be in focus. So now the next scene is you take your solder sucker. Now, I don't have a $500 solder sucker. I have a, if you can get it in here, a solder bulb. It can't fit in here. Hold on. Old-fashioned rubber soldering bulb. Yeah, I know. I should have bought a desoldering station. I have a station for doing surface mounts, but this is the old way. This is old school. All right, we're going to come in here, and we're going to suck the solder off that tip, or that connection on the capacitor. Okay, we're warming up. All right, now we solder sucked it. Now I can see the tip of the wire. Let's make sure she's still in focus. The tip of the wire that comes out of the capacitor is bent this way towards right here, back this camera back that way. So you got to come down with a pair of pliers and straighten that out so the 2 wires will just slip right off. All right, getting my pliers. Yeah, on eBay, not eBay, on YouTube. Oh, don't let the viewer be wait too long. Yeah, well, if you get one of these radios, you're going to be happy that I did this video. All right, we just straightened that out. Now the next step is either take, let's make sure she's still in focus. Take this and get behind here as we apply heat and flick it off. There's 2 wires that are wrapped around that capacitor as a terminal. See, what I call it, HELLCRAPPERS. HELLCRAPPERS doesn't put terminals in their IF cans like other companies. This is the shittiest IF can I've ever worked on, other than the shitty ones that are in, like, was it HELLCRAPPERS model S40B or A or B? That has a regular, like, the early ones have ones that are like this, and later on they use ones that are like in a kitchen radio. And I don't mean Charles' kitchen, I mean a crappy kitchen radio. So let's see if this comes off. All right, we get behind it and we heat it up. Let's see if it slides off. It moved. I got gas. I got intestinal gas as I'm doing, if you hear that gurgling noise. All right, now I'm going to try with the my tweezers. This soldering tip that I bought, a replacement, it doesn't seem to get hot. All right, let me pause this and change the tip on the soldering iron. And hopefully, when it goes into pause, that Windows doesn't mess me up. All right, I'm back from pause. It looks like Windows didn't eradicate my video. Sometimes when I go into pause, I'll come back and the thing has logged out and the video has been terminated. All right, I got a new tip in the soldering iron, and I'm about to try to push the 2 wires off the HELLCRAPPERS IF can. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's heating up right away. I must have got some type of fake welder tips. I'm doing this real time for you. I hope you guys appreciate this. I hope it comes out. And I really can't get down in there. It's coming. So's Christmas. All right, let's get the tweezers down in there. That's 1 wire, and there's still the fine wire. Hopefully this is in focus. This is total suicide right now because of the position I'm in. Let me make sure it's still focused. All right, there's a real fine wire still on that post. And I won't even call it a post. It's a lead of the capacitor. HELLCRAPPERS. All right, so we heat it up and we slide it off. All right, there it is. It's off. Okay? I wanted to do this for you. You know, I don't have a $40,000 lab. And I think I'm the only one that ever showed you the inside of this IF can. There's 3 of them. They use various different types of capacitors, values. And here's, like I said, there's a tang here. And they punched away the metal. And it's inside here holding this capacitor on either side. You still got to do the other side. And the other side has a bus system between the capacitor, and then there's a wire that goes off the bus down to down below as a connection wire. But I just want to, you know, show you, it's not that simple. And having the little tweezers helps a lot. And then having a tip that's hot enough, and then it's not too hot that you can't work with it. Now I don't know what happened to this tip. I don't know if it's still hot. It's got a number on it. It's got a number 8 on the back. But this tip here, it's genuine. I don't know, it's not triggering the magnet in the arm or the handle of the soldering iron. So it'll click, it'll be hot, I'll tin it, and then when I go to solder it, the switch turns off until it needs more heat. And for some reason, it doesn't re-trigger the heat to reheat that tip back up. So I don't know, maybe things maybe just need to be taken apart and cleaned. But I watched Shango's welder go bad when he was working, and I have an extra iron part, the section that goes with the base. I have an extra one if it burns out, but his burnt out on him. And it is one of the better soldering irons. It's temperature controlled through magnetics. Heat, nickel, metal. Nickel won't stick to a magnet if it's hot, so you can control the back tip of the soldering iron. Here's the tip. That back section is nickel. So you go out of focus, back in focus. All right. So anyway, there's a switch in the soldering iron itself that it's got a magnet, and it gets attracted to the nickel. It then touches the nickel. It gets the nickel hot, and then at a certain temperature, the magnet lets go because there's a spring in there, and that's how they regulate the temperature. But I wanted to show you one more time and explain to you that there's 2 wires on that capacitor, and one's a very fine wire, and don't move it. As soon as you remove it from the capacitor, let it hang there. Mine's right there. Let it hang there. Do the other side. Put a screwdriver inside. Pry that tang off that capacitor. Use the piece of tubing I told you about on the past video. But I just want to do it on camera for you. I needed that extra stress, you know, because when you do these videos, you don't know if Windows is going to start updating. You don't know if a loud noise is going to come by outside. You don't know if the power is going to fail. I've had about 20 videos that I was doing just get totally wiped out. Windows just decides, let me shut it off, and it'll be recording, and I'll look over, and it'll stop recording. Yeah, but that's Windows. I think that's it. All right, that's it.